Hey, what's going on YouTube guys? This is your boy C-Will back to you with another video. And man, after a little bit over 2 weeks of using the iPhone XR, I am definitely here to tell you that this is definitely a phone that you should probably get if you are probably coming from the iPhone 7 Plus, iPhone 8, iPhone 8 Plus. But if you are coming from an iPhone 10, this may not be the phone for you. But before we get into the video and the full review, if you want to support the channel, don't forget to take a look at our Patreon page. We definitely appreciate everything that you do for supporting us. And also, don't forget to follow me on all forms of social media. You should see that pop up on the screen as well too. And let's get into the video. All right, guys, so here we have it. We have the iPhone XR here. And definitely, let's get into this full review. And first thing I want to talk about again is the color. The product red is absolutely beautiful. If you're not familiar with product red, every iPhone purchase that you have goes towards fighting against AIDS. And so this is definitely not only is just a beautiful color, but also, it helps with also giving back. One of the advantages of the iPhone XR is definitely all the colors that it comes in. This is the product red. You also have coral, you have a blue, you have a yellow, you have your traditional white, and you also have the space gray black that the colors come in. And this is the only model that comes in all those colors. With your iPhone XS, XS Max, they only come in 3 different colors. You have the gold, you have the silver and white, and then you also have the space gray. So one of the advantages of having an iPhone XR is definitely being able to get the colors. And so with the design of the iPhone XR, again, you have a glass front, glass back, but also on the sides it's aluminum. And so it's not the same as the stainless steel that comes on the XS and the XS Max, but it does give texture to the phone. It has a good grip to it. Of course, you have the infamous one camera on the back, and on the XS and the XS Max, it's a dual camera. But this camera is actually pretty cool. A little bit later on in the video, I'll be able to talk about the pictures that the iPhone XR takes, and there are beautiful pictures. On the iPhone XR, it's a small mic right here. It's a mic that's built in down here, and what that allows for is actually stereo recording. I have the 128 gigabyte version, which this particular one, the 128 gigabyte version starts at $799. That's what I got it for. And as you can see on the screen, the iPhone XR starts off at $749 for 64 gigabytes. And as you move up, the price goes up a little bit more. But if you take a look at the price differences for the XS, and you take a look at the 64 gig, the 256 gig, and the 512 gigabyte versions, and then if we take a look at the XS Max, and where it starts off, you're talking about a big difference. You're talking about a big difference in price. And again, that was one of the big differentiations for me on the decision that I made to go with the iPhone XR, was the actual price. There are a lot of the features that are the same, especially when you start talking about the camera that's on the back. So it's a wider angle lens that's on the XR, but what that does, actually allows you to bring in more light, which also allows you to be able to take better portrait photos. And I'll talk a little bit about that later on in the video. One of the biggest reasons why I chose the actual XR, this is the same hardware in and out. It's the same camera that's on the front. It's the same camera that's on the back. You have the same internals, the A12 Bionic chip that allows you to be able to run everything that you need to run on this phone. The same with the XS, same with the XS Max. They have the same hardware, but again, one of the differences is that allows the XR to be a little bit cheaper, the actual screen. It's a 6.1 inch liquid retina display, and it's a great screen. Most people won't be able to tell the difference in between the actual screen on the XR and the XS Max and the XS, but the difference in between the two is that on the XS and the XS Max, it has an OLED display with a higher resolution, and on the XR, it's an LCD display with a lower resolution. But when it comes to watching video, watching Netflix, YouTube, you wouldn't have the same levels of black, the contrast and everything as you would on an OLED display. But that's okay, because the screen on the XR is just as good as a lot of the screens that you see out there, and it's definitely one of the best LCD displays that's on the market right now. So I don't have any problems with it. Like I said, I've been using this phone over the past couple of weeks. It's been a great display for me. The screen definitely gets bright. It's usable in the sunlight. So Apple has done a great job with using the screen. Again, you know, if you pixel peek, then you may be able to find a couple of differences, but for most people, this is still a great screen. The resolution is still fine. 1080p video still plays fine and looks great. And so I would pretty much just kind of move on from there. Don't let that deter you from being able to buy this phone. Now, as you can see, man, one of the great things about the iPhone XR is the battery life. And when I tell you this actually has a bigger battery than the XS and the XS Max, and man, this thing lasts all day. Now, as you can see, the battery life, I started off with taking the phone off the charger 5:52 a.m. in the morning. Around about 7 p.m. that evening, I was able to get 5 hours, 29 minutes worth of screen on time, which is amazing. And man, so if you're playing games, or if you are taking pictures, shooting video, I promise you, the XR is definitely a good device to be able to have and not have to worry about trying to hurry back and put the phone back on the charger. This phone is going to last you all day and then some. I'm definitely considered to be a power user. I use my phone all day, but definitely for most people, the phone may even last you a day and a little bit more. So gaming on the iPhone XR is amazing. Of course, this is everybody's favorite game, which is Fortnite. And as you can see, this is buttery smooth. You won't definitely have any issues with playing. And I am flying in the sky with my Galaxy outfit on. And again, this just goes back to the testament of the battery life. You wouldn't have any issues with playing on here. And I don't know if you can hear it. It may be kind of hard to hear, but the speakers on the XR are amazing. So one of the downsides about the camera that's on the back, this is 12 megapixel camera. It's a wide angle lens. It's only one camera versus the dual camera that's on the XS and the XS Max. But one of the biggest differences is the actual portrait mode only works on actual human faces. So what that means is that if you go to the camera app, if you try to take a portrait photo, it won't see it. So it won't work. But hey, that's cool. I'm not a person that actually takes a lot of portrait photos of objects or things. So if it doesn't work, that's fine. It still takes great pictures. It just won't have that bokeh, that depth of field that's gonna be, that's gonna blur out the backgrounds, but that's fine with me. But I can tell you, if you are a person that likes to take pictures of different objects and things like that, the iPhone XR may not be for you. But this does take, great pictures, great portraits. And as you can see, just take a look at some of the pictures and video I was able to take. Portrait shots on the front and the back. You can also see some 4K video that I shot, and let's just kind of get into that real quick. So guys, if you're on the fence about the XR or getting the XR or thinking about getting the XR, whatever the case may be, definitely take the time, go to an Apple store, go to your local carrier, use the XR for yourself, use the XS Max, use the XS for yourself, get your hands-on feel about it and make the decision then. But do not make it off of the other videos that you may have seen that talk down about this phone, things that's on a blog, stuff like that. You always have to get stuff, your hands-on feel for it to make the decision for yourself. But if I were you, if you are a person that is coming from iPhone 7, iPhone 7 Plus, iPhone 8, iPhone 8 Plus, this phone is going to be perfect for you. You have the same design, same factor as the higher end 10S, 10S Max models. You have a great screen. You have the same internals, hardware, camera, and everything as the 10S and the 10X Max, minus the telephoto lens that's on the back. But you got the same front facing camera. You got the same A12 Bionic chip that's inside of the new phones that just came out. Hey, I would definitely just go for it. And again, hey, if you're a person that upgrades every year, if you're on the next program or the iPhone every year program or whatever the case may be, if you're on those programs, you only have the phone for 12 months. And if you decide that the 10R is not for you, all right, hey, trade it back in, get you a bigger phone or another phone. And hey, you never know what's going to come out next year from Apple. So, but definitely, this is not a waste of money. It's a great bang for your buck. And again, I have the 128 gigabyte version. I would just go for it. All right, guys, thank you for watching the video all the way through. I hope you was able to definitely see about making a decision about which phone that you would like to get. I can't make the decision for you. The iPhone XR has all the features that you need. It's the same phone inside out, except for a minor discrepancy. So, hey, make a decision for yourself. Let me know down in the comments on which one that you would choose for yourself. And I'll see you in the next video.